Hey, there we go. We're on. Hey guys, sorry about that. Slight delay. Apparently saying live streaming not available at the moment. But we're on board now and all is good. So back outside in the sunny weather. I've got the towel thing up again. You can see I'm quite hot. It is quite hot today. But how is everybody doing? I hope you're all good. Nice to see conversation going on the side already. I don't know if it's on the side or below for you guys. I'm hoping that it's updating as we're going along, but I think YouTube is having a bit of a blip today. So Dan's on board, cool. We've got Zara, nice. Graham, they're good. Yeah, all familiar people. Hello, hello. So this is nice. So as always, basically what we're going to do is just hang out today, have a bit of a chat, have a bit of fun. Just 45 minutes, an hour or so. Once again, no structure at all. But as always, I want to kick things off by saying thank you to our patrons who are on board. Spend More Time in the Wild would not be possible without you guys. Just want to say thank you so much. And for anybody who'd like to support the project, definitely have a look at our Patreon community. Lots going on there. Patrick's on board. Hey guys. Yeah, jump on board. Why not? We've got all sorts of different things going on. It'd be really good to have you join the community if you feel like you can. So basically, I'm just going to jump straight in today. Last week, I waffled on for a fair while, and basically just going to answer any questions that come up, which would be quite nice, and just have a bit of a chat and a bit of fun. So I can see straight away, if I scroll right back up to the beginning, we have a comment from Martin, who is asking about solo hiking tents that won't break the bank. I think the thing is with tents, it depends what you want. Obviously, there's so many one-person tents out there. All I tend to recognize, I get a lot of gear questions, as I'm sure you can imagine, every week. And most people sort of ask about what's affordable. I always just recommend having a look at ultralightgear.com. Is it .com or .co.uk? But either way, there's loads of different information on there. And you can obviously break up the items that you want into to weight or cost wise. So that's kind of really helpful. And you know that everything's sort of reviewed on there and it's all really interesting stuff. So definitely have a look at ultralightgear.com. Lots of information on there. So that's sort of the best thing I have there. And actually, I had a question for you guys. Actually, I wanted to kick off with. So my question for you guys is, what would be like your ultimate adventure? Like, I'd love to know, if you pop it on the sides in the comments below, what would be your ultimate adventure if you could head out and do anything you wanted to do? What would you do? I'd love to hear from you and get some ideas. Always nice to see what people dream of. You can see I've got all the plants here again. Got to have the plants. It's not a live stream if you're not in the jungle. Cool. So, wow, people from all over the place. It's really nice. So, what have we got? Oh, we got the. did I think of the rudest animal? I think I spoke to a few people about this, and I'm pretty much settling with cats. Sorry if you're a cat person. I'm definitely a dog person. Okay, let's have a look. What else have we got questions wise? I want to try and keep much more on them today because last week I got a bit lost with all the questions, so it's good. Although this is a nice pace of a conversation today, so I feel like I can work with this. So let's have a look. What adventures did you have planned for the year that you've had to put on hold? Well, that is still a secret because I don't really know what the year is going to look like just yet. So sort of waiting to see. I know we've got a review at the beginning of May with regards to the lockdown situation here in the UK. So definitely going to still sort of playing it all by ear, and we'll go from there. But I know I'm sort of, I wouldn't say like bored of the lockdown. It's kind of fine, but it's such nice weather and just want to be out using it, but getting plenty of things done, which is really good. And actually, we've got the Great Garden Camp Out happening on Saturday. So it's the second round of that, which would be super cool. It's been really nice this time, actually, because the local papers and things have all got on board, sort of sharing that and helping to spread the word. And yeah, then also the live stream of the Great Garden Camp Out. Now I'm hoping to live stream, but the weather does look like it might be a little bit wet. If it is wet, I'll have to sort of, I might do a live stream like this and just have a chat and then jump in the tent. But basically on the live stream for the Great Garden Camp Out, that's when we're going to announce our next big project. So we're working really hard on this, just finished filming it today. And I'm super, super, super excited because I'm really hoping that this will bring much more conversation around the globe about mental health and how I and many people feel that in the conversation around COVID-19, sort of mental health has just been dropped, when I think actually right now more and more people are susceptible to feeling anxious and dealing with sort of mental illness issues. So basically, it's the project we're launching is all about that, all about positive movement, all about community, immunity through community, as I've been putting it. So going to be really cool sparking conversation about that. But definitely, who is on board with Great Garden Camper? Let me know on the side. I'd love, obviously, I'm sure most of you guys are in the Facebook group. If you're not, I know a few of you have been emailing, which is super cool. But really looking forward to that. Round 2 in the tent should be good. Okay. Once again, I have lost myself in all of the questions. Scrolling. Let's have a look. What's your favorite flower, flowering tree, or shrub to see bloom each month? Generally, I actually just love blossom. Blossom is one of my favorites. I love the smell of blossom. Sort of even just things like hawthorn blossom is really nice, actually. But, you know, your classic apple trees, pear trees, just all blossom. I just love blossom. It's great. And it literally is like out for 2 weeks of the year and then it's gone. And, you know, also blossom signifies there's going to be a pretty decent harvest of something. So that's always quite exciting. So blossom is definitely one of my favorite blooming shrubbery flower things. Have I ever thought about the Hebridean way? Yes, I have. I've thought about most trails. Each year is sort of just assessing what works and what's the best season to be out. For me, when I'm looking at a trail, I'm looking at lots of different things, from basically do I have time, but also to the time of year is really, really important for me, because something like the Hebridean possible out of season, because I just don't enjoy being around loads of people, and also it makes filming much more difficult. So something like the Hebridean way, May is not a bad time to be doing that. April, May, probably early June, but probably by the middle of June, end of June, July, it's going to start being a lot busier there. Obviously, don't know what the situation is this year, but who knows? A lot of trails I have the guidebooks and things for, and I'm sort of like halfway through planning, so that if ever the opportunity opens up, I can just jump out and do them straight away. So I like to sort of keep on board with having my itineraries all sorted out. I'm sorry I'm so sniffy today. I've been dusting, and I'm really feeling the dust. It's very sign I need to dust more often. Oh, it's cool. Oh, Antarctica. Someone else is Antarctica. That's cool. So looking at your dream trips, this is cool. New Zealand, Tour de Mont Blanc and Dolomites. That'd be cool. Polar trek. Yes, we had a good conversation about that last week. Swim with the penguins. I like that too. PCT, AT, CDT. Nice. You guys dream big. This is good. Welsh 3000s. That sounds cool. Nice one, Karen. Oh man, reading through your comments is so fun. What is the best way / products to use for reproofing a waterproof coat? That's an interesting question, because it's something I am still working on. So when you're using sort of Gore-Tex fabric or a vent, usually you can get knit wax stuff, which is sort of wash in. So you can either hand wash it in, and I'll do that in the sink, or you can use the washing machine. You can also get spray on stuff, and I've had a lot more luck with spray on stuff than actual wash in stuff. I tend to find once I've tried to put it through the washing machine or hand wash it, it's kind of just, that's it just wets out. So I haven't really quite got the knack for that. The nice thing, I'm going to pull this back a bit so I'm out of the sun. Yeah, so I want to make a video about reproofing and actually have a chat with some of the guys from Knit Wax, and sort of actually help run through that process, because even though like it says on the waterproof or on the bottle, it's not always that intuitive, to be honest. And I find I've wrecked more waterproofs than I've actually reproofed. So certainly something to bear in mind. Okay, so let's have a look here. Yeah. Okay, everyone's talking through their stuff, which is cool. Do you know that Monopoly are bringing out a late district edition of their game? Are they genuinely? That's really cool. Okay, guys, we need to get that, and we will sit down and have a Monopoly. That'll be really fun. Have a good game. Man, I'm sorry, I'm just blown away by the whole Monopoly thing, which is kind of cool. So it seems like quite a lot of folks are interested in different sort of similar stuff, which is really cool. My brain is not quite screwed in today. I'm first of all, I'm still like dealing with the dust, and secondly, it's too sunny. Okay, let's have a look. Let's try and get some focus today. Okay. This is kind of like complicated because there's like mixture of comments now because there's like your dream trip and actual questions. So I'm just, so bear with me with the pauses. Also, I've been working on my whole speaking to camera thing. I was doing some filming this morning and just getting so frustrated with myself. It's definitely behind the scenes is much less glamorous than I think people imagine. Just like I couldn't stop, first of all, breaking into song, which was actually just really annoying because I needed to do my script. Then I couldn't remember my script. And yes, I did script the one occasion. And then I don't even know. Anyway, do you agree with the camping laws? Do you think we should be able to walk the Southwest Coast Path and end to end and wild camp along the way? That's quite a loaded question, isn't it? What do I think about that? I don't really have a strong opinion either way, but I'm trying to put my thing on the thing, but the thing is not there. But I think the trouble is I am somebody who does think there are a lot of people. Sorry about the sun. There are a lot of people utilizing our outdoor spaces. And also, I think, if you look at Scotland, for example, a lot of people out there, they're wild camping, and Scotland has even put in place permits around different places because people aren't quite respecting the landscape. They'll build fires and leave trash in the fires and just generally not look after the. And I think the thing is, like, soil is so fragile. It takes, hundreds of years to make a good amount of soil, and so easily eroded away by heavy footfall and just a handful of people disregarding the landscape. So my worry is if we started to relax the camping laws here in the UK, that things would just get completely destroyed. Because I think the thing is, people who do wild camping well still wild camp. So wild camping on the Southwest Coast Path in a lot of places is actually really not difficult. And if that's what you want to do, I say go for it, because if you're thinking about doing that, you're probably someone who is going to get up with the sun, go to bed as the sun goes down, not leave any trace, and just be respectful of local people. My friend Anne, who a lot of you guys will know from the Coast to Coast video and the Dartmoor video we just put up, she wild camps flipping everywhere. And she's super stealthy, but she's also very respectful. So she will ask farmers permissions. And I really, really like that. And I've learned a lot through her and through her experiences of wild camping. So that's sort of some thoughts I have around that. I'm not going to go super detailed. Super cool that people were pumped for the Great Garden Camp Out and setting up tents in the living room. That's what we like. Looks like it might be wet anyway, so it's probably not a bad thing. Let's have a look. Have I done Le Jog? I haven't done Le Jog. I think I would do Jogger as opposed to Le Jog, because I live in the Southwest, so it would feel like I'm sort of heading home. So Le Jog, if that's a new term for anybody's, Land's End to John O'Groats. So obviously south to top of the country. Jogger is John O'Groats to Land's End. Some people walk it, some people cycle it, some people horse ride it. I think I quite like the idea of cycling it, but I've got to definitely put my own twist on most things, and I have my own twist on that. And actually, if I'm honest with you, I'm not sure what this year is looking like, but I'm working on a plan that is slightly similar to that. So watch this space. That's all I'm going to say. What's your most favorite easy, tasty food dinner to make whilst you are on the hiking trail or on the trail? For me, I actually am a big fan of couscous. Now, I know a lot of people don't like couscous, but I do like couscous. Couscous is good. It's so simple. You just add water and you can lie there like semi-conscious because you're so knackered. And actually, I quite like the Lidl's couscous. It's like probably like the worst thing I ever eat, but it's just instant couscous with like vegetable flavorings and stuff. But it's half decent. So I really genuinely enjoy eating that. And I will tend to choose that over like a ration pack or something, which is like way more calories. So couscous, there you go. And something else, I really enjoy like date and cashew bars. So like whole food bars. They're really good for me as well. Let's have a look. What else we got going on? Oh, hang on. Sometimes it just jumps and then I lose myself. So the dog is lost. Okay. Bear with me. How do you handle ticks? Ugh, ticks. Ugh. I pull them off myself. I'm not. Hygiene is something I'm not great at, and like just general insects. Like I know some people are like, oh, you're supposed to get the fancy tick tweezer things. And of course, if I was working with people, then I would do that with them. But for myself, it's just like, just get it off as quickly as possible. If I'm in tick territory, then I will be very vigilant of where I could be getting ticks, and I will check quite often. Any slight itch, and I'm like, oh, tick. So got to get it off. But yeah, ticks, that's the only thing I do with that. Is there a badge for the Great Garden Campout? As in like a badge? Not that I know of, but that's not a bad idea. Although everywhere that produces everything is shut at the moment. So I apologize about that. Oh, is the internet dropping? I apologize about that. So Brian's saying the internet's dropping. So I'm working. Oh, well, I'm outside. So I'm quite away from the rotor. Let's have a look. Scrolling through. On the next camp out stream, can you do a short wild related quiz? That is my plan. We're going to do a little quiz. Yeah, definitely. Have you learned anything about yourself / life on lockdown? I've learned a lot, actually. It's been really weird. Well, I don't feel like, well, maybe I have. I don't know. I've certainly cemented a lot of thoughts during this time. I've learned that I can definitely cycle more. So I've been cycling quite a lot, which has been good. I've learned that, I don't know, for me, actually, it's just really reinforced my belief that we have a choice in every situation to be able to forge out something positive. And it might not always be super obvious or intuitive, and it certainly can come after the situation. But I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I was using my Gritstone Trail video as an example to that. Oh, I found the dog. He's underneath the table. Bobby. He's underneath the table.
Oh, there he is.
Sorry, bear with me. There you go.
Oh, I can't see him. Thanks. Hi, guys.
That last January, January 10th, I headed out to walk the Gritstone Trail. It's just 2 days, but basically my headspace was so bad I had to come back. Went back in May, finished the trail, super, super awesome. And I remember coming off the trail in January being like, there must be something I can learn from this. And I learned so much. And I learned about, and basically that was the first time I'd really thought about how something that seems like a failure or a disaster can actually really present a lot of opportunities. And basically, like, the current situation has really proved that to me. My creativity has been pretty decent. You know, just being able to sort of get life right back to basics. But to be honest, like, also I was talking to somebody else about this. My sentences are not in an order today. But how mental health sort of forces me, and I think a lot of other people, to live each day as it comes, each moment as it comes. And I suppose with lockdown, that's what a lot of people are really experiencing. Simple. You know, not being able to travel very far, and I sort of even think very far ahead, and that's kind of like what it is day to day for me. So in a way, it's not hugely different, but I suppose all it's done is just helped me sort of understand how other people are now more able to empathize with things or empathize with things. My thoughts are not ordered today. I'm sorry, I'm really rambling today. I'm trying to get things together, but they're not quite there. Have I ever traced back my own family and ancestral history? Not hugely. We have a little bit, a couple of generations. My family's from Yorkshire and Scotland, and from down here in Dorset, so a bit all over the place. Let's have a look. I'm going to try and find a sense of focus now. Focus. If someone asked to be your apprentice and learn all that you know, I don't know a lot, what would be the first thing you would teach them? I love that question. I like these questions. I've just learned that I really can't answer them very well on the live stream. So somebody asked last week, what sort of smell reminds you of summer? And I was like, I don't know, because that seems to be my default. Like, I don't know. But then I think about it and I do know. So I was thinking the smell that reminds me of summer is, because I'm always out in the morning, and especially in the summer when it's warm, I'm definitely out in the morning. But just like, you know, the smell when the sun is coming up and there's like frost on the ground, or it's all dewy and it's like super fresh in the air. And like that for me is summer. Such a good smell. It's like pure happiness. So that's that question from last week. Catching up. If someone asked to be an apprentice and learn all that you know, what would be your first thing you would teach them? I don't know, man. Like, I would just find out like what they know, and I don't know, maybe look at the things that they struggle with, and I guess just help to build on that. But I suppose essentially I just help them to see themselves for themselves, and that they are enough, like we talked about before, and to basically be true to you, or for them to be true to themselves, because I think that's how we can have the biggest impact in the world, if we are pursuing sort of who we are deep down. So I guess there's something like that. I'm not sure. I will think on that question and probably get back to you next week. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, Morocco's cool. What brand packet of couscous? It's just Lidl's, and hot or cold, actually. Easy peasy. Poa cheesy camandeezy. Cool like a banana. Ugh. Have I ever done a multi-day trail with Bobby? No, I haven't. Well, yes, I have. Think before I speak. I have Bobby. So Bobby's the Yorkshire Terrier and Penny's the Westie. If you're not sure what they look like, just have a look at like my social media feed and you'll just see a lot of pictures of them. But yes, so Bobby is 11 and Penny is 14. So neither of them can really do very far. But the funny thing is, Bobby's actually my dog, and he's a lovely dog. He's very affectionate. He's always with me. Like he's very rarely within, like, talk about social distancing. He's always within the 2 meters, like always. But yeah, he actually doesn't like the outside. So for somebody who likes the outside, to end up with a dog who doesn't like the outside is kind of sad. So we took him once on the Southwest Coastal Path for like a micro adventure thing, and he just kind of, that did not go down so good. I think he's still forgiving me. So I would love to have a dog to take on the trail, but Bobby is not the dog for that. Have I ever had equipment stolen, or have I ever lost equipment on my walks? I've lost equipment quite often because I'm just losable of things. I've never had it. Have I had anything? No, I haven't had anything stolen. Again, my friend Anne, coming back to her, she once had a whole pack stolen, which is unbelievable. I mean, why somebody would steal like 15 kilograms of just stinky kit, I don't know. Sorry, Anne, I'm just assuming if you're anything like me. Also, my dad, when he did the Camino, there was a phantom pincher. So I don't know if he's on the stream right now, but he'll certainly fill in the story if he is. But basically in the Camino, you stay in the refuges and or the hut things, whatever they are. And basically, you know, you usually when you're on the trail, you have like just a couple pairs of underwear. So you'll wash them out, leave them to dry. And apparently someone kept going around pinching people's underpants. So that must have been fun to deal with. I don't have any interesting stories like that. Oh, it's so hot outside. So hot. This is nice comments. Good comments. Comments are good. The sun is not so good. Everyone's having a conversation. This is fun. What's been your favorite trail and why? Difficult. I don't really have a favorite trail. I have favorite experiences from the trail. I get nostalgic about the trail very often. So if I had to pick one from each year, let's do this thing. Let's actually force myself into a situation right now. 2018, I did. What did I do? Here we go. Living in the past. West Hallam Way, Great Glen Way, Coast to Coast, Two Moors Way. Out of those, probably the Coast to Coast. Also very much like the West Hallam Way. But Coast to Coast is a very, 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 very special trail to me. So probably the Coast to Coast. Also because I was really not in a good headspace for most of that trip, so it was jolly hard work, but very, very sacred. And Coast to Coast. 2019, it's last year. What did I do? I did Tour de Mont Blanc, Bear Away, Gristone Trail. What did I do? Someone help. Rothbury Way. Oh yeah, Cleveland Way. Anything else? I think that's it. I might have done another one, but I can't remember. Out of those, Tour de Mont Blanc. Tour de Mont Blanc, there you go. Let's just answer it honestly. So inside the UK, Coast to Coast is a very special trail to me. Outside of the country, Tour de Mont Blanc, hands down, has been my favorite trail experience so far. I have never known myself to be like that. I think that was the closest I've ever been to being me. And I haven't been that person since. It's just everything about that experience was just wow. So yeah. What other YouTubers do you follow or like to watch? I watch YouTube occasionally, usually when I should probably be trying to sleep. Where's my YouTube feed? Let me have a look. See what comes up on my recommended. I have messages. I will look at them later. Oh, it's recommending my live feed. That's awkward, isn't it? Oh, it's me. Look. That's fun. Okay, was not expecting that. To be honest, I use YouTube a lot for music, so it's recommending a lot of music. That's what I usually use it for. What was your favorite place to go when you were a kid? Did you like the outdoors as much, or did you know this is what you wanted to do? Sorry, I can't speak. I can't read. I'm basically just a useless blob today, but I'm doing my best. The Lake District was very special as a kid, still really is. In fact, had a little weep this afternoon because I was just going through some footage to put on top of the video I'm shooting for this big project, and it was Lake District, and like I just miss it so much. If the Lake District was a person, I would never leave their side. So the Lake District was very special. I did a lot of rock pooling as a kid. That was definitely a thing. So we were often down in Cornwall on the beaches, looking for little critters in the rock pools. But nowhere really jumps out. Yeah, probably just the Lake District, to be honest. It's in my blood, man. I'll probably live there one day. Oh, hi, Anna. Was there one significant trip or walk as a child which established your love of the outdoors? No, but again, if I was going to narrow down the Lake District a little bit more, Haystacks was a trip we would do every single year without fail. So we'd often go to the Lake District and then we'd go up to Haystacks, around Buttermere. Really enjoyed that. That is a special little route for me. Anything else? Not that I can think of, to be honest. I just basically being outside all the time, and to be like as well, like as a kid, we still live in the same place. Like I'd be out in the fields, and there was a lot less people here then. So, I'd be out filming the badgers and the foxes and the rabbits at all hours of the day, and that just being completely immersed in nature. All day, every day throughout the seasons is a very humbling experience. Time sort of just slows down and you lose yourself in the pace of the animals and the trees. So that for me it's all very affirming, and it's just the place where I belong, like hands down. It's my safe place, just the outdoors. So as much as possible as a kid, I'd be out there, and I still, as much as possible now, really. Although I think it has changed a little bit. I'm arguably more curious to actually learn more about what I'm seeing and what that means for the whole ecosystem. Certainly from a mental health perspective, I'm interested in the science of being outside and time spent in green spaces. But then also, like, I'm much more physically active outside. So obviously as a kid, you're not quite as independent. So I wasn't like going out here, there and everywhere. I was just it was much more sort of sitting and observing, but not even from the learning point of view. It's just get some videos or some badgers. So it's changed a lot, and I'm sure it would change more as I age. But it's kind of interesting to observe, I guess. Okay, let's have a look. And you found your sunnies. Yes, these sun. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. So for those of you guys who've seen the Haystacks video. Oh, yeah. Is that the Haystacks video? I think it is. So I found these sunglasses, but these are actually a second pair. The first pair broke, which is really sad. Do you have places you haven't been but really want to go? Basically everywhere. As I think I mentioned before, I have a book. It's filled with all the places that I'd really like to go and adventures I'd really like to do. Some are in the UK, some are not. Basically, I wouldn't really say no to going anywhere, to be honest. So offers out there, let's go. If I had to pick one place right now, if I could go somewhere tomorrow, other than the Lake District, so it's not allowed, in the UK, I quite like to go to Wales, because I haven't been to Wales in so long. And a lot of people have been asking about Wales, and I was meant to go to Wales a couple months ago, and I didn't. So I think I'd probably just hit Wales and sort of try to get familiar with that territory a little bit more, the coast and the mountains and everything in between. So probably Wales. It's a big place. So that'll keep me occupied for a little bit. That's funny. Why don't you go wild camping with Siberian Russian wild tigers in the jungle? You look like the kind who could survive that. Do I? I'd give it a shot. I'd try and tame the tigers and just sleep with the tigers. Plans on doing the PCT, as always, someday in the future. How long have you and your hat been adventure buddies? For many, many years, my friend. We've talked about that, I think, since I was like 11-ish or 12. So over 10 years now. 10 years of mud, sweat, and tears. If you could choose anywhere to live in the UK and base yourself for adventures, where would it be? That's a funny question because I was looking at houses before this. Not that I can afford a house or even a room, but I would consider the Lake District, but I think in the summer there'll be a lot of people because I tend to go there when there's not many people. Scotland maybe, but the midgies are scary. Well, scary is the wrong word, but just midgies. And down here is pretty decent. So we're in Somerset. You know, we've got the coast, the Jurassic Coast World Heritage Site, which is super cool, and all the nice people that live in the area who I have the pleasure of calling my friends. We've got access to the Quantox, Exmoor, Dartmoor, Cornwall, and then all you do is just jump on the M5 when you can drive, and you know you can access the whole country. So I do like living down here. We didn't get any snow this year though, so it's a bit sad for someone who likes the snow. Not overly happy about that. If other than cat bells, should we just make this the Lake District talk today? Because I'm totally game for that. Other than cat bells, could you recommend a Lake District walk for a beginner in the Lake District? My spiritual home. I think it's a lot of people's spiritual home. Haystacks is a good one to start with, to be honest. So parking down at Buttermere, walking along Buttermere, head up Haystacks, round over the top, and sort of circle back down. That's a really nice loop. It doesn't take too long. I think Haystacks doesn't quite fall in the mountain category, but it's still jolly epic. And you can loop right round to Fleetwood Pike and then come straight down that very steep descent. But it's a really, really nice loop. And, you know, on a good day, you can get views over Great Gable, Honister Pass, Red Pike, all the Buttermere Fells. I'm doing that because I'm seeing the map in my head. Oh, gosh. Okay, we can't talk about the Lake District anymore. What's the worst experience with your tent? Oh, condensation. I just hate condensation. And also it leaked. One of the Terra Nova ones I had, the compact one, in the storm I was in at the end of the Tour de Mont Blanc. So I didn't film it because I didn't need to. The film was done. But it's just torrential. 3 days of thunder and lightning. I managed to fly. Well, I didn't fly out. I was stuck in the airport. But the seams aren't taped, so it was leaking, and there was condensation, and I was like floating with ducks. So yeah, there's no ducks. It was all right. It was warm enough. Are you mates with Julia Bradbury? Julia Bradbury is someone I've not actually met. I've met not a lot. I've met a few sort of outdoorsy people, but I've not met Julia as far as I can remember. And if I've forgotten, that's quite bad, isn't it? Screen. I can't see the screen. Oh, that's better. Let's have a look. Sorry, I keep jumping all over the place. Would you ever do meet and greets? What's a meet and greet? Is that where you meet someone and greet them? Because I do that. Do you think after having the highs of the trail, your mental health takes a dip when you get home? That's a good question. So post-expedition depression is a legit thing. Often it does take a dip, but it also dips on the trail. My mental health is very unstable quite often in terms of the fluctuations that I experience. So I'm still on the meet and greet question in my head. I'm just like, there's like walls I'm trying to get over in order to speak and think and read at the same time. It's just one of those days, you know. But I'm putting myself out there, authentic and real. It's like we're hanging out, having a brew, but it's too hot for a brew, so I've got whatever this is. It's all good. Does my mental health take a dip? It does sometimes take a dip, but usually, to be honest, when it's like the trail season, I'm on and off the trail all the time. Like I think last year the longest I had between the trails was like a week. So, and in between that, I'm also leading walks, trying to edit, doing talks. So it's quite busy. So long as I stay busy, it's usually okay. It's sort of during the winter that I really feel it, and right now with the whole isolation thing. But I'm trying to just work with it. And like the editing takes so long. The trail isn't kind of finished until I finished editing the film. So I just work with that. Snowdonia State Trail. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that. That's cool. Yes, I have caught the sun. I have. Can you see? I'm like, no, you can't. I'm proper burnt. It's sore, but it's okay. I deserve it. How to brush teeth in the wild. Same way in the house. Actually, I have a really bad habit when I'm on the trail of swallowing the toothpaste. That's not good. Don't do that. Like, I don't want to spit it out. What would you say is the most difficult mountain or anything around that height that is most difficult to ascend? I suppose you're asking about out of all the Lake District mountains I've done, because we're talking about the Lake District a lot today, guys. What is the most difficult to ascend? I'm not sure about ascending, but descending, going down the... What side is it? That side of Great Gable. If you watch the Great Gable film, I mean, it's not difficult, but I think a lot of people would find that quite uncomfortable and intimidating. Going down the scree slopes of Great Gable, that's pretty tough. I wasn't ever worried about anything. In fact, it was actually really good fun. But I think that would be outside of some people's comfort zone. Have you ever thought about converting a van to live and adventure in? I thought about that a lot, actually. But I think van life is very much bigged up by things like Instagram, and a lot of the internet. I think actually when it comes to living in a van, the practicalities are quite difficult. And as somebody who needs the internet, X, Y, and Z, there'd be a lot to consider. But I have thought about it. I do think about it. And maybe one day it might become a chapter of my life. I'm open to that. But it will only be a chapter, I'm sure. Dust. Okay. I'm not doing so well at reading these today. Read the words. Were you ever in guides or scouts? I was in everything. I still am, as you can tell, very scatty. And I struggle with commitment. Spend more time in the wild is the longest I've committed to anything in my life. Pretty much, other than staying alive. Yeah, so as a kid, I basically tried everything. Well, partly it was my choice, partly my parents' choice. What is it? You do Cubs, then Scouts. I did the Girl Guides thing. Just even saying that makes me like, ugh. No, great for people who want to do that. I did some martial arts stuff. What else did I do? Oh, cadets. That was interesting. Various things. Basically, if it was there, I tried it. Did I commit to it? No, I did not. D.O.V. In fact, I got kicked off D.O.V. because I was told that I knew too much. So they didn't let me carry. D.O.V. was a bad experience for me. That could have completely put me off hiking, but it didn't because it's in my blood, bro. Let's have a look. Scroll in. Meet and greet is a hangout with friends in real life. Oh, that's fun. Well, for those of you guys who don't know, I do wild walks. So they are predominantly in the southwest at the moment. I was due to run some in the Lake District, but right now I don't know what's happening. But yeah, the wild walks anyone can come on, and they're good fun. They're varying distance, usually between 8 and sort of 15 miles. We sort of just have a nice time out and about in the nature place. So yeah, have a look at my website. You'll be able to find out more information on there. I have a really curious question. 1 second. Is there a hiking trail you really want to do in your life, but you were afraid to do it yet? Love that question. Am I afraid? I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid. No. Well, maybe, actually. Fake it till you make it, right? I think most trails I have some kind of apprehension about at some point, especially the ones that are outside of the country, because everything is obviously very different. Things like the PCT and the AT, they're a pretty big deal to take those on, 5-6 months on the trail. And of course, things like the PCT and AT, you need resupply points. So all of that often, I'm really bad at logistics. I mean, a trail is good for me if I can just turn up and wing it, like the TMB, which I did. Sorry about this. Dust again. So there are other adventures that I'd really like to do that I am afraid to do. I think I've talked about them. As a kid, I grew up obsessed with people like Roz Savage. So Roz Savage is an ocean rower. She's a life coach now, but an ocean rower. She was the first female to row the Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic Ocean solo. A lot of her world records have been broken now, but she was the first, and she's a jolly flipping epic lady. And reading her books really inspired me. And the Atlantic rowing race is something I still, when there's like I mean, for me anyway, at least, when there's a dream that sticks with you for like years and years and years, and you just can't put it down. I think I talked about this before. Like, I genuinely believe some dreams are meant to just be dreams. Other dreams need to be manifested and lived out before you die. And I'm unsure whether the Atlantic rowing race is one that I just dream about or one that I need to do, because I'm scared of water. Let's just put that out there right now. Or at least the idea of being in the water above like my shins. So I would, that's a thing. And the other thing is the polar stuff. Skiing to the South Pole again is something I'd love to do. I don't know if I'm afraid of that, but I think just the logistics of that as well is a massively big deal. But the other thing with those two projects, for example, is just how much money they cost. You're talking about a lot of money, and I feel like that money could be invested in people for so much more than just an adventure. So I don't know how I'd be able to give myself permission to do those things if ever I was able to source the money and the sponsorship to do those. I think I'd have to find some real sort of meaning and purpose in them. I'm not somebody to adventure for adventure's sake. It's just, I don't know. I used to sort of be like, oh yeah, I want to be an adventurer, but I don't think I do now. I'm just me, and I'm just telling my story. And the trail is for me just the best place that I can do that. So I'm going to think of that a little bit more actually, because I think that's a really good question. And I'm a big believer, I've talked about it before as well, that I don't like fear to be a stopping force. I think fear is a healthy emotion, but there's so much more on the other side of fear. And I think we need to always be very careful and assess if we need to push through the fear or if we can just let the fear hold us where we are and pin us down, because I don't like that idea. Okay. If you had, I lost the question. Where'd it go? Hang on. Questions. How are we doing for time? 41 minutes, 42 minutes. If you had to, you guys are good at questions today. I'm liking this. If you had to give up all your equipment and start again, but could only rely on one thing, what would it be? My hat. My hat's great. It's a good morale boost. Probably, no, more seriously. My clothes, to be honest. They're so comfortable. I know they're fast drying. I know they do the job. I know my layering system. So I would jump straight onto my clothing system. It's pretty narrowed down now to some lightweight but good quality versatile stuff, and I wear it most of the time, to be honest. Have you ever thought, oh, there's a van thing. Where am I? I've lost the questions. The birds are chatting too. Yes, they are. Sorry, it's just jumping all over the place, so I'm trying to keep up with it. Hi Craig. That's cool. Craig's here. Wild walks are indeed great fun. Meeting lots of nice people. Can't wait for them to start up again. Can't wait to see you there, Craig. It'll be good. Seeing as you love the cold weather, have you or would you consider doing a long multi-day hike during winter months? The challenge of having less daylight to compete each section. Yeah, for me, it's the daylight actually that's the stopping force for getting out in winter. Although to be fair, the last winter we just had was very, very wet. But yeah, I'm not a fan of like being sat in the tent for 12 to 14 hours in the dark, especially since I don't ever really carry a book. So that's something that I'm sort of challenging myself on. And my season is getting earlier and earlier. So January, February, like by March, I was like out and about this year, and last year all the way through to November. So it's not too bad, I don't think. The next question is just making me grin. Do you ever feel an urge to climb Everest? Good question. Why all these questions? Why am I never a simple answer? I have done. Do I now? See, I think if someone came to me and be like, here's a card, and this card is your one-way ticket, no, two-way ticket, because one way is not good, your out and back ticket to Mount Everest. Base camp is definitely on the cards, but I have a slight feeling, because I'm somebody who likes to push myself, that I would get to base camp and I would look up and I would see the summit of Everest in the jet stream with the wind going off, blowing off all the snow, and I see all the mountaineers getting all their ropes and stuff ready, and I'd be sat there like, oh, mate, that's the thing now, isn't it? Mont Blanc itself, that is very much on the cards as well. I'd like Mont Blanc. See, the first time I saw Mont Blanc, I saw that mountain, I was like, I'm going to be up there someday. And my worry is that I would see Everest, and I would feel that about Everest. So that's a commitment, isn't it? Again, a lot of money. So the fact that I can't say no to Everest kind of makes me feel like there is something inside of me that's like, that might have to be a thing. But I'm sure that might be a dream that I won't manifest. I don't know. Okay, let's have a look. Any recommended reading? Grandma Gatewood's book about Grandma Gatewood, who walked 80 in her 70s and 80s, using her Sharon cursor as a tarp. That's quite fun. That's quite gutsy, actually. Just going through. What's your favorite bird song? Nice question. I like the niche questions. Oh, now I need to answer it. I do genuinely like a blackbird song and a robin song. I think they're quite homely. Song Thrush as well. Song Thrush Productions actually came from, I was lying in my bed and I was like, what am I going to call this? Because initially that was supposed to be the development of my film company thing, which now I just spend more time in the wild through. But basically, I was lying in bed and I was like, I don't know. I can't think. And just Googling stuff. And then I was lying there and I was listening. I was like, oh, that's a nice Song Thrush. And I was like, Song Thrush Productions. So there we go. So Song Thrushes are quite cool. I love the cry of buzzards. That's a good sound to hear. Chiff chaffs, sign of spring for me. Wrens, so cool. Jolly loud birds wrens are. As you can see, I like most birds. I'm not super honed in on some things. Are you interested in learning survivor skills like making fire and building shelters? Yes, I am. Well, I can do much of them, but I don't get to practice them very often. I was a bushcraft instructor for a short period of time, and I have done a lot of bushcraft. But I would like to do a bushcraft series, but I need some woodland, and we talked about that, and I have some context now, which is cool. So watch this space. Would you suggest... I would suggest the Dragon's Back Trail in Hong Kong, but... you wouldn't like to hustle and bustle in Hong Kong. No, I probably wouldn't like the hustle and bustle of Hong Kong, but I have heard of the Dragon's Back Trail. So who knows, my friend? Who knows? Here comes the helicopter. Okay, I'm going to answer a few more questions, and then we will round this up. Do they think you've lost your mind and sometimes a lunatic? You joke, but... So I'm just waiting for the helicopter to go past. Do you prefer hiking or camping or both? Both. Hiking, probably. Camping is an essential really to hiking anywhere half decent, in my opinion. But it's quite nice actually for me not to carry loads of heavy stuff everywhere. I do enjoy not carrying heavy stuff everywhere. Do you stargaze, pick out constellations when you can't sleep in the wild? Usually I stargaze when I'm going for a wild wee in the dark. So that's that. Let's have a look. Blackbird song uplifting. It is uplifting. This is good. This is good. Would you consider doing North Downs Way? Yes, I would. If you could design your own tent, what color, features, and weight would you make your tent? Green to blend in. Weight as light as jolly possible. And features, a tunnel design is good. To be fair, I basically take the Hillyberg Acto and take off a kilogram somehow. So like 900 grams, that'd be all right, wouldn't it? So 3-4 season, if possible. That's what I would do. Any interest in bouldering and or route climbing? Yes, I've done a little bit of bouldering quite a while ago now. I'd like to just spend some time doing bouldering properly. I'm more interested in bouldering, I think, than actual rock climbing. I just know too many people who've really hurt themselves rock climbing. Why do I have to say rock climbing? But yeah, bouldering is quite fun, I think. And don't you like start from being sat on your butt and it's like work up? I quite like that. And you just get some cool things. Do you speak any other language other than English? Thank you for the second part of that sentence. I used to be able to speak half decent French, but you don't use it, you lose it. But that was one of the things I enjoyed the most about Tour de Mont Blanc, was like digging out, excavating the language skills within me. I genuinely love languages, but I'm just not motivated enough to learn them whilst I'm here not doing anything. So I really like the idea of spending a prolonged period of time in the Alps or somewhere and genuinely just trying to like because I learned so much. It's like, it was so good. I was so pumped about that. So yeah, I love languages. I also used to learn as a kid Lakota. So it's a Native American language. So that was fun trying to like learn that. But it was way more. Oh, that was way back when there was like nothing on it on the internet. So I would actually connect with random people, and we'd do like Facebook calls. Just this random young teenager connecting with people from all around the world. Like, excuse me, do you speak Lakota? So that was interesting. But yes. Have you ever considered making up a multi-day trail from your home? Actually, there is a couple of multi-day trails from the home. You can walk to the coast from this home. You can walk to the coast, which is quite nice. Oh no, that's not multi-day. What am I on about? There's a lot of places I could walk. But I always feel like if I'm going to use my time, I want to use it to do things, to tick off the things that I'd really like to do. But yeah, I have had a look before. I've had a little fiddle with the map, but I haven't devised anything specific. Do you listen to podcasts or music when you hike, or prefer nature sound? Generally prefer nature sound, but sometimes nature sound is drowned out by my head. So then it's best to drown my head out with a podcast or with music. So that's what I do. And podcasts, I love my podcasts. I've really got into those in the last year now. So I wonder how long I'll say a year for. 10 years down the line. Yeah, the last year I've really got into podcasts. Oh, you sold your actor. Yeah, they're really not great for condensation, to be honest. What's top of your list for your next equipment purchase? Literally nothing. It's sad because everything is like super cheap at the moment. I don't know if anyone else has picked up on that, but all the outdoor gear is being sold really cheap. And I'm just like, don't need anything. Don't want anything. So I probably could get a new knife, maybe. Little optional one. So that's something to think about, maybe. Let's have a look. Oh, you're walking the Great Wall of China. Oh no, I'm walking the width of the Great Wall of China. I don't know what to say to that. It's really good. What USB chargers do you use? I guess, are you talking about portable charger thingies for power? The RAV power bank is half decent. It's quite heavy, but it is shockproof, which is quite good. So I tend to carry that. And then they've got they do. Do they? The Anchor. What's the Anchor one? The big one, like that big. That's heavy. But that's half decent as well. They all take so long to charge. That's the trouble. The number of hours I've wasted in my life just sat in pubs or cafes, just like watching the world go by, because I don't have a book and I don't want to use my phone. Just waiting for power banks to charge. Yeah. Anyway, so I think we've covered a lot of ground there. A lot of Lake District ground, which is always good. Always nice to talk about the Lake District. And a lot of random questions, which is good. I really like what are you afraid of? What trails are you afraid of? That's a good question. But I'm going to wrap this up now before I get completely blinded by the sun. So we've been finishing these sessions each week with a breathwork exercise. And we've covered things like loving kindness meditations. We've just covered deep breathing. And I realized that the box breathing I was talking about last week, I actually did through Patreon. So I thought we'd do box breathing through YouTube today. So box breathing, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the term, is essentially time in the pub is never wasted. Sorry, that's a great comment. So box breathing is basically where you breathe in for 4 for a count of 4, you hold for a count of 4, you breathe out for a count of 4, and you hold for a count of 4. So essentially, you should be able to do 3 to 5 rotations of that, and sort of find your focus is coming back, or your sense of calm and grounding is just becoming more centered. So it's quite an interesting technique, and the pace of counting, of course, determines how engaged you are with that. So I thought we'd just finish with a little box breathing exercise. So we'll just go through it, sort of, 3 rotations, and see how we get on. Trying to just, son, leave me alone, please. What did I do wrong to you? So box breathing. So I'm going to do the counting. So for anybody who wants to get involved with this, please feel free just to shut your eyes now. Usually it's quite nice to sort of put your feet on the floor, just feel the earth beneath your feet. And we're just going to we'll just focus on our breath for a little bit, just nice and steady. just focusing on where we can feel that breath most in our body. So it might be in our chest, sort of in our stomach. You might be able to feel that sort of in your mouth if you're breathing through your mouth, or on the tip of your nose if you're breathing in and out through your nose. I'm just going to take a few minutes or a few seconds even, just to focus on our breath, natural breathing, not doing anything different right now, nice and steady. Okay, so I'm going to count through this as we go, but basically we're going to start our box breath by breathing in. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4. So when you're ready, breathing in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out for 4, 2, 3, 4. And hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. So we go one more time. Breathing in for 4, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out for 4, 2, 3, 4. And hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then just return to your natural pace of breath, keeping the eyes shut a little bit longer. Just trying to really settle into our body, feel the earth beneath our feet. Trying to just let go of any tension in our bodies, in our shoulders, in our back, in our core. Just trying to breathe into any tension that's there. And then when we're ready, just opening our eyes back to the sunshine. So there we go, guys. That's a little box breath, which is or box breathing technique thing, which is, it's all good. It's nice to cover different things each week. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Lots of good questions. I just want to say, I hope you guys are all doing good. I hope, you're staying busy, got lots of different things to focus on. Don't forget, as I said at the beginning, we have got our great garden camp out on Saturday. Saturday the 18th, yay. So that'll be really good. Hopefully tune in then. I am planning on doing a live session that is going to be weather dependent, but I'll look forward to seeing you there, hopefully. So Great Garden Camp Out. And don't forget, Great Garden Camp Out is where we're going to be announcing our next big project. And this is a project, guys, super needs you guys to be on board. So I hope to see you there. Any questions in the meantime, anything you want to run through, just drop me a message on Facebook or Instagram. The other thing, actually, just wait, stop, come back. The last thing I meant to do is, if you've got your phone near you, please can you take a picture of the screen right now and share that screenshot across your social medias, tag Spend More Time in the Wild. Let's just try and spread the message of the importance of getting outside. We can still get outside for most of us around the world, even if it's just once a day, and that can do amazing things for our mental health and well-being. So let's just support each other, let's serve each other, let's look after ourselves as we go through. And that is it from me, guys. So thank you so much for being here. Don't forget as well, actually, you can support the project through Patreon or through all different ways. Head to our website, Spend More Time in the Wild. Song Fresh Productions. It's going to be Spend More Time in the Wild. In fact, just Google Eva or go on some Facebook page and Instagram and you'll be able to find out more. But there we go. Official ramble over today. So thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you same time next week. If you can, send this to a friend. Let's get more people involved and we will enjoy a good time out and about. Sitting out and about. Cool, guys. I'm signing out now because it's just going ridiculous. But stay wild. Woo! Everybody's happy. Stay wild. See you soon. Bye.